this divisional matchup, we have the Houston Texans versus the Tennessee Titans. The Houston Texans coming to this game 10-5, and the Tennessee Titans coming to this game 8-7. If Tennessee wins this game, they're in the playoffs. They clinch the 6th seed. Now, Houston, for some reason, they're not resting their starters. And I'm going to guess the reason why is because they're playing their starters, because if the Kansas City Chiefs lose, then I believe that Houston would end up rising up a couple of spots and taking that number 3 seed. Now, for a lot of you guys that's wondering why is that so important, because if you're Houston, you rather either play Tennessee again or you rather play Pittsburgh than wanting to play Buffalo. Because let me tell you something, Buffalo is a really terrifying team, believe it or not. And with the way Houston's defense has played this season, it's been really up and down. I don't think Houston wants to see Josh Allen and Buffalo, especially with the way that defense is playing. So if you're Houston, I can understand the argument of why Houston would decide to play their starters in this game, because seeding is everything, and it's all about matchups, and you got a better chance of beating the 6th seed than beating the 5th seed. So for Tennessee, although they lost to the Saints last week, Tennessee has been the hottest team in football, in my opinion. I mean, it's no team that is as hot right now as the Tennessee Titans, other than the Baltimore Ravens, who are on, what, like a 10, 11-game winning streak or something like that. So, other than the Baltimore Ravens, this Tennessee Titans team is hot, extremely hot. And the big story of the season has been the decision to bench Marcus Mariota and start Ryan Tannehill. And Ryan Tannehill has been nothing far than sensational for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, this offense looks completely different. They're also are getting Derrick Henry back, who looks like a Pro Bowl caliber back, in my opinion. So, I mean, this Tennessee Titans offense has been really, really good. And I mean, at the start of the season, I mean, a lot of Tennessee Titans fans, they were going ham on the offensive coordinator, saying they wanted to fire the offensive coordinator. They saying they want to get, some Tennessee Titans fans say they want to get rid of Mike Vrabel, and they start Ryan Tannehill, and it's like, wow. And an important lesson to learn from this is that sometimes the guy calling the plays is as good as the guy who's underneath the center. The quarterback, some quarterbacks can make their offensive coordinators, the guy calling the plays, look very good. And you don't really see that from a lot of average quarterbacks like a Dak Prescott or somebody like that. They're only as good as the guy calling the plays. But the best quarterbacks in the NFL are the guys who can elevate their coordinators, elevate their play callers, and make the guy calling the plays look better. And Ryan Tannehill, surprisingly, has been that. And I'm not calling Ryan Tannehill a elite quarterback or anything like that. But I'm just saying, he's making that guy calling the plays on the offensive side of the ball for the Tennessee Titans look very good. You also got A.J. Brown, who pretty much has been neck and neck with Deontay Johnson and DK Metcalf for the best rookie wide receiver this season. I mean, he's been absolutely phenomenal. I have him on my fantasy team, and I'm in the championship round right now. So, of course, I'm starting him in this game, because you're looking at this Houston Texans defense, right? They played well versus the New England Patriots, all due to the fact that Roman Cornell, former coordinator for the New England Patriots, had history with the New England Patriots. He knows the New England Patriots system well. We already know how successful former coordinators are, or former assistants are, when it comes to playing against the New England Patriots. And then they get carved up. So, I mean, look, this is a Houston Texans defense right now that we don't really know how good they are. Now, J.J. Watt has came off of IR. Now, I don't know if J.J. Watt will be activated in this game, but this secondary for Houston is really erratic. Now, their pass rush is okay. The front seven is okay. But in the back end of that secondary, other than Justin Reed, Houston is pretty abysmal. Really, really bad. It's so bad they signed Vernon Hargreaves, who is basically Temple's leftover. He's basically a bust, and they have him starting for God knows what reason. And I mean, he was getting I don't know what's going on with Houston secondary, but it's definitely going to look like, from what I've seen the last couple of weeks out of Houston secondary, that Tennessee is going to come in and they're going to exploit that secondary. Now, Houston is good, pretty formidable when it comes to being able and their ability to stop the running attack, right? So the question is going into this game is that, can Houston get pressure on Ryan Tannehill and kind of try to slow down this offense that has pretty much been one of the hottest offenses in all of the NFL over the last couple of weeks? This offense for Tennessee has been really sensational, all led by Ryan Tannehill. Now, when we look at what Houston needs to do, right, on the offense side of the ball, for the offense, for the most part, Deshaun Watson has been pretty good. Now, he's not in that MVP discussion no more. A lot of people a couple of weeks ago were making very, very strong cases of why Deshaun Watson deserves to win NFL MVP. Now, obviously, those talks with Deshaun Watson winning NFL MVP have died down over the last couple of weeks. But with this offense, you got Carlos Hyde, who's been pretty solid. You got Duke Johnson, who's also been able to contribute as well. But Will Fuller has been the big wild card in this offense. Will Fuller, when he's able to stay healthy on the field, has looked like a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver. But he's never able to stay healthy. If Will Fuller is able to play a whole 16-game season without getting injured, I guarantee he makes the Pro Bowl. It's just the speed and the big playability that Will Fuller brings to the Houston Texans, right? You also got Kenny Stills that has been pretty solid as well. So for Houston, how do you attack this Tennessee Titans defense? Because Tennessee has one of the most underrated defenses in all the NFL. They don't have a lot of players other than Jarrell Casey on that defense that really pops out at you, that's really flash anything like that. Maybe Wesley Woodyard for a couple of you guys. But if you're not a Tennessee Titans fan, then most of you guys don't even know who the guys I named. You probably don't know who Jarrell Casey and Casey and Wesley Woodyard are, even Kevin Byard, who was an All-Pro last season. So a lot of you guys, if you're not a Tennessee Titans fan, you don't know the players I'm naming. But Tennessee has a very good defense, right? So if you're Tennessee, how do you approach Houston's offense, right? And if you're Houston's defense, how do you approach Tennessee's offense? Well, let me start this off by saying that Tennessee went from a team that was over-reliant on running the ball, and they weren't able to run the football early on in the season, they ended up losing, to now a team that is pretty balanced, right? So, if you're Houston, here's what I would do. I would try to play the run, right? Try to stop Derrick Henry, then get Tennessee being one-dimensional, and then you play to your strength, which is your ability to get after the quarterback. So, if I'm Tennessee, if I'm Houston, and I'm Romeo Crennel, and I'm game planning for this matchup, I'm saying, look, we're going to stop the run, and we're going to let our pass rushers try to tee off on Ryan Tannehill and try to slow down this pass attack. That's what I would do if I was Romeo Crennel, right? Now, that's debatable. A lot of people have a lot of other ways they could approach it. But if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm Romeo Crennel for Houston, that's how I would approach it. Now, if I'm Tennessee and I'm Mike Vrabel, how am I approaching how to stop this Houston Texans offense? And I don't really think it's quite that complicated. If you're able to get pressure on Deshaun Watson, you're most likely going to end up winning the game. And all the games Houston has won has been the games when Deshaun Watson has had clean pockets and a lot of time to throw the ball and not really getting sacked a lot. But when you see Deshaun Watson facing an elite pass rush, that's when Houston's offense tends to fluctuate because Houston is a big play offense. Believe it or not, they like to take a lot of shots deep, and they also have a lot of big plays, right? So a good way that you nip those big plays out the bud is that you get pressure and you force the quarterback to get the ball out quick, and you force Deshaun Watson to improvise. Now, Deshaun Watson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to extending plays and making things happen. He's in the same conversation when it comes to Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson in that category. But when you got to ask Deshaun Watson, under immense pressure, under the blitz, to throw from a clean pocket and win the game from a not clean pocket, you're asking for trouble, right? So that's the game plan. If I'm Mike Vrabel and I'm on that defensive staff for Tennessee, that I'm trying to cook on. I'm trying to get as much pressure as I can on Deshaun Watson, blitz him all day, and force him to beat my defense under duress. So the team I'm taking to win this game, I'm taking Tennessee to win this game. And this is probably going to be a shock, because for those of you guys who don't know, I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I'm rooting for Houston to beat the Tennessee Titans. But in all honesty, I just don't see it. Tennessee right now is one of the hottest teams in all of football right now. And I know they lost to the Saints, but this is a team, if it wasn't for that fumble they probably could end up winning that game. This is a very hot team right now. And if Tennessee does win this game, like I predict them to, I would be terrified whoever has to play Kansas City or whoever has to play Tennessee in the first round. Because Tennessee is not an easy outing for anybody. This is a really good team. They're complete on both sides of the football. They're good on defense, and they're very good on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm going to take Tennessee to win this game. I just don't trust, I just like the matchup. I don't trust Houston's defense, and I just like Tennessee a little bit more. I think Tennessee has been playing a lot much better football than what Houston has been playing over the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to take Tennessee to win this game. 24-17 is my final score prediction. So let me know who you guys have win this game down in the comment section down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.